It seems like Xbox is always one step forward, but 30 steps behind. And I've not been this annoyed at Xbox since they sold the beautiful Prey on the Xbox 360, absolute classic, to Bethesda, and they gave us this shitty knockoff. They have somehow managed to make me more annoyed than they did 7-8 years ago when that game came out. Tony Hawk is one of those game franchises that is very near and dear to my heart, and it turns out Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 Remake has been cancelled. In fact, it actually got cancelled before we even got to see it. While Xbox was remaking Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, they decided to not remake Pro Skater 4 and instead just make it an expansion to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. You're going to still have all the levels of Pro Skater 4, but in the Pro Skater 3 time attack style, which literally destroys the entire point of Pro Skater 4. The entire point of Pro Skater 4 was to take us from the old PlayStation 1 Nintendo 64 style, bring us into the future with the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, and experiment. Give us one giant open world, tons of tasks, make the entire game centered around this whole thing that's bigger than just an arcade game. And now we're back to the arcade game style that they try to get rid of. This is not cool, Xbox. But okay, let's be real. This is not the end of the world. The game is still going to be great. It's still going to be fun. We're still going to enjoy it. Because that game is more than just its missions. That entire series was just rolling around, skating, doing your thing, having fun, listening to the music. So that's not too bad. But this does not fill me with hope. The Tony Hawk games peaked with Underground, Underground 2, and American Wasteland, and arguably Project 8. But Project 8 on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 absolutely sucked. The only version of that game that was good was the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and PSP version. But with this being, rolled back on Pro Skater 4, taking it back to Time Attack, that tells us that Xbox is not willing to give the teams the budget to actually fully remake these games. So this is likely going to be our last Tony Hawk game in the true remake fashion, I guess. If we get another one, it'll probably be Pro Skater 6 with the same Time Attack stuff. We will probably never be loved enough to be given the Tony Hawk's Underground 1-2 American Wasteland saga that we've all so much wanted. Even Proving Ground. Proving Ground concluded the story of Underground 1 and 2. It wasn't the best game in the world. It was a game of the world, but it wasn't the best. And it just really sucks that this really means we are not getting the Tony Hawks that we wanted. Pro Skater 1 through 4, those are great. I mean, I'm happy to get them. But let's be real, everyone wanted Underground, everyone wanted Underground 2 and American Wasteland. These 4, tried and true, you play it once, you played it 1,000 times. But the other 3, just every time you played it, it was something different. We know Xbox isn't the greatest at making games, and we know Phil Spencer isn't the greatest at making decisions. And we also know Activision is probably one of the worst companies to be allowing to be self-ran. So all things considered, I'm just glad we're getting more Tony Hawk. At the end of the day, this sucks. But if this is what we got to deal with to get more games and to see these levels that we fell in love with as children be brought back into a modern light to enjoy, and for future generations to also enjoy, it's one of those things we got to sacrifice. But what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, try not to die, and I'll see you in the next video.